Hi, bear with me while I figure out how to have a horizontal frame. This is currently not possible with the amount of space I have, but I'm really hoping TikTok got people used to watching longer form content in a vertical frame. I think the transition from Instagram Reels and very short form content to hopefully slightly longer form content will bring a maybe different perspective on making stuff. I feel like I'm going to be unlearning a lot of what I initially had to figure out to cut out of reels and short form content. And now I'm in a position where I can go back to that more expanded way of thinking and filming and speaking for filming. Um, and I don't know what I'm going to have to edit out or anything. So I'm figuring it out. This first video, I think, is going to be heavily inspired by Alberta, who I've followed on Instagram for a while. I follow her on YouTube as well. She's really cool. She's a stylist. A lot of her stuff is vintage or custom, or like, made by, one batch was made or something. I love her content because of all the fashion accounts I follow. The overwhelming majority have very little like her in the sense that I can watch her and I can appreciate what she has, but the thought never crosses my mind to go hunt for it because I already assume at this stage that I just won't be able to find it. So I can maybe look for something similar, but just knowing that a one-to-one is essentially impossible to achieve 99% of the time with the stuff that she has, um, makes me treat her content really differently. And I'm still kind of reckoning with what that means for content like mine, where I certainly haven't had that approach to filling my wardrobe. I'm not going to start my wardrobe over from scratch in the pursuit of that. But I think I struggle quite a bit with fashion content and making fashion content that isn't designed to be a surrogate for explicit advertising. I think there's going to be some evolution there in my thinking, but in the meantime, I can't promise that you won't see something that might invite you to shop or that might trigger you to want to shop. Don't think too hard about the specific contents of what's in my closet or what I'm wearing. I'm really trying to take a more conceptual approach to this, or even just a get dressed and play with me approach that is admittedly less structured, but hopefully is less of a bid to try and emulate an exact match. We'll find out how that works out for everyone involved. I think we talk a lot about how style evolves and how we should, dress for the job you want, the life you want, blah blah. The kind of shopping attitude we have is very fantasy self oriented. It's not very reflected. It doesn't look back in the rearview mirror at the iterations that came before today and hold on to that many of them. And I know I've decluttered a lot and I'm trying to declutter less because I think it actually is a way of just like feeding my problem instead of resolving it. It patches a symptom, but it doesn't fix the root cause. Extremely long-winded way of saying, I think for this first video, I'm just going to go look at some of the older stuff in my closet. I hope that this at least invites you to go look at the old stuff in your closet and play with it, Your toys are sad, they miss you. All right, for springtime, this is from Uniqlo Men's. I want to say from at least 2018. It looks quite wintry, right? Because it's dark. It's quite heavy visibly, like it's weighty heavy, but it's a loose knit fabric. It basically just lets a lot of air through. These jeans, only a couple years old. I like them a lot. This tank top, years and years old. This is a vintage shirt I got last year. This sweater is from an era of my taste that was much simpler, much more minimal, and I would argue probably more unisex as well. Option one, over the shoulders. Let me get a shoe real quick. These are so cute to me. They have a real wooden heel that's quite heavy at the back. So it's not the most balanced thing to walk with, but because it has that slight heel, it's far more comfortable than a true flat. I struggle with this often. I can't tell how much I like preppy, cute things. So, and how much is like just disheveled, and that's why I like it, So like the collar coming out feels like preppy cute. Inside obviously I don't need this many layers, but if I were outside in spring, the weight is nice and it's many layers of fabrics that let air pass through very easily. So the base layers is extremely, extremely thin cotton. The shirt is linen and very, very breezy. And then this has a ton of holes. It's a very loose knit. I think I liked it better kind of tucked in. I like this. I like that I kept the ring. The ring feels right. I love that I have so much time. I can show you guys details. And then don't think you can see from this angle, but there's this like black layer inside. That's kind of cool. It feels like a little subtle peekaboo, you know, something to discover organically. I got this from a beautiful vintage shop in Cincinnati called Hybrid. This is fantastic. I love this bag. I mean, look at the detail. All of the textures are quite worn. You can see the denim has some fading. This is clearly like an aged sweater. It's not like this immaculate thing. And I have cat hair on everything, so obviously it looks a little lived in the literal sense. And aside from the bright white, there are very few like stark colors, right? Even the navy is kind of faded. There's no black, there's no like strong contrast. Yeah, I like this. This is a fantastic, very like kind of shitty feeling blazer in terms of the make. Like you can see it's like not lined fully. Like the front is weirdly lined and the sleeve so it doesn't catch, which is nice. The edge is kind of showing this like pull and fading. I don't know. It's a really weird, very chill construction and texture blazer. I got it from H&M Men's. I think also maybe 2018 or 2017. One of the oldest pieces I have in my closet, but it's because it's so good. It looks so chill, but it still looks dressy because it's still a blazer. And the weight of it is great. It has no shoulder pads, so it just kind of hangs, which is yeah, I don't know, it just feels so much more relaxed than a normal like oversized men's blazer with the shoulder pads and the lapel. Like, this is just a jacket that happens to look like a cousin of a blazer. If you know what this is called and there's a word for this kind of garment, tell me. I would like more of them. This is not the look, but I just want you to see. Look how perfect she is. She's so chill and so relaxed. I like that the pockets are diagonal, not like the top down pocket. A jacket quality, I don't know, it's great. I don't know what Past Me was thinking. I don't think she was thinking about longevity at all, but she made a great call. Two thrifted items. Please tell me if you don't even want to know the brands or something. I just won't mention the brands. Sometimes I don't know them, which is a great case for both of these. Such a cool fabric. Like homemade paper on the outside and on the interior, it's very fuzzy and soft. This, yeah, the top half of this feels like coming home. It's like this with some like wide cut jeans. Like that is the oldest part of my closet summarized. I'm again going to go for a nothing shoe and really missed my nothing shoes in winter. I'm tired of stomping around. I live in a walkable area, so I tend not to wear these very much unless it's for an event. But if I were going for purely theater and like the drama of the outfit, I would probably do this. I love these heels. They're so fun, they're so summery, and they go with literally everything, despite being like a golden, like mango color. But I think realistically, if I were leaving the house, um, I would be in these guys. These are very easy to walk in. Again, with that like kitten heel. It's very conservative. It looks just confused enough. Like the waist up, it looks like something a dad would wear to like a very casual dad would wear to a graduation dinner or something like that. But you know, then there's like the board short look and then some very cute like country club friendly flats or like church flats. I think maybe we'll bring color back in. It has a fun like playfulness. It feels like a kid's toy, you know, if you just close the ring fully and you gave it to a baby, it wouldn't be a choke hazard. Flip side, if I were going to dinner in this outfit, I think I would be wearing these because the wood is such a fun and interesting texture to see close to the face. I've lost sight of what I'm dressing for. Like in my head, I have started getting ready to wear this outfit to dinner. So I'm going to put the heels back on. And then I'm going to take off the necklace. I think now it feels weird and a bit excessive. I thought this would go a better place. Let's try without the heels. I think the heels and the earrings is too much. It's a lot of volume around my face. I think I don't like the earrings. Okay, immediately I like this more. I think the earrings would have been good with the last looks shoes, those like flip-flops, because they're kind of understated, you know? They're very delicate. The earrings feel kind of chunky, clunky, playful. So I think they would have done well with a different kind of nothing shoe. I think it needs shine. I think it just needs more lightness. It needs more opulence. I think I'm reaching for a lot when I should be reaching for a little. Yeah, okay, let's stick with this. Okay, I definitely like this more. This feels better. I feel at home more. Because it's playful and it feels like something, and then these feel more subtle, more understated. They don't feel like very much. I like it. Okay, we're in a happy place now. I would wear this to the office. It looks like it's trying enough, I think. But I actually really like this with the big work bag. It feels so practical. It almost feels like I'm going to the beach because it feels like it could fit a towel. I know we were dressing for dinner originally, but now this is for the office. I adore these pants. These are from Uniqlo. Uniqlo U. I want to say maybe they're like pre-COVID, but not by a lot. I'm gonna say maybe 2019. The pants have an interesting undertone. It has this really nice versatility that comes from the undertone not being, like a chestnut, a camel, a tan. Like it's not a warm brown, it's a cool brown that almost pulls purple, depending on how you pair it with things. Okay, this time we're gonna get dressed for the office. This is an Arquette linen pajama shirt. I think one of my favorite ways of playing with um, dressing for the office, like the monochrome idea that's very clean looking altogether. It's tricking people's eye with that notion. So my very wrinkly linen pajama shirt with the very nice trouser that's a much heavier weight. It has a much more serious feel and look to it. I'm gonna leave it untucked, but I think it weirdly it reads considerably more polished, especially depending on what else you put with it. And it's an old trick. I feel like I've been doing this for years. It just somehow, if you just make the eye have less to focus on, it's almost like it passes. Like people are like, oh, that next, and then they don't recognize that you're wearing pajamas to the office. Again, depends what you pair with it. I'm going to pair this really lovely bracelet. I think this is Dalmatian jasper. It's from a Canadian small brand called Million Lou. Just such a beautiful bracelet, but it has this very classic, like, grandma goes to church kind of feel to it. I think it feels very mature as a piece. I think that helps elevate everything else a little bit. Yeah, very sweet. I like it. And we're going to keep the theme going of monochrome to trick people. This guy's like the opposite of the last blazer, right? The last blazer was so relaxed, so chill. And this one has the shoulder pads, the lapel. It's a special texture. It's cut kind of flamboyant. It has a really, really cool texture. I love this like burlap sack kind of texture. It's a bit rough. It's Jacquemus. I got it secondhand for like less than $200. Okay, we're gonna add some opulence. Some opulence. Okay, so if I were going to dinner in this, I would get these guys out. These are so beautiful. These are Chopova Lovena. You know what? I could wear this for the office. My instinct is to do less for the office. Also, I wear headphones that are like the over ear kind, and it would feel like a lot. And it would like in terms of sensory overload, it would feel like a lot. More realistically, these Laura Lombardi hoops, very very lightweight. They're hollow, and they have this really cool aged texture color to them. I think because they are this kind of burnished, like aged gold brown, they have a similar color to my actual skin, but just with a very different texture and finish, right? But so they blend quite nicely into my natural palette, just like all the brown, right? A fisherman's sandal. Well, it's a little too much. I think the shoe is quite bulky. The earrings are quite bulky. All right, another nothing shoe. I love a flip flop. These are very old. They're Everlane. All right, this is it. Yes, the pant drags on the ground, but whatever, it's fine. At worst, right? I don't know if you can see, but at worst, all I'm going to do is take the back here and then flip it up. And you can safety pin that, and it kind of just does the trick. I like the puddling, so I'm going to keep this way. All right. This feels great. I am a happy camper. And then again, the work bag. All right. And with the work bag, we're good to go. Very chill summer office outfit. And I walk to work too, so I'm never gonna wear a pump or something. I can't be bothered to change shoes just for the office. That does not feel like aspirational to me. The sweater, the blazer, these pants, that gray button-up shirt. I feel like with all of them, they've all been pieces where the next items that came in after them and it just kept on being that way, but for immediately after them, all kind of worked together well. And then that item just persisted longer than all the others, right? And it's because it worked through more contexts of my life. It worked through studenthood, first job, working retail, working white collar jobs. I think I remember buying these pants because they were, they fit the white collar lifestyle I thought I would have pre-COVID, right? Before loungewear got more critical to my wardrobe, and before working from home was common. But they've worked out great because they continue to have qualities that allow me to wear them when I work from home without feeling like I'm ridiculous and overdressed. They're so comfortable. They're a size like 12 and they're wide cut. I'm normally a size maybe 8. So they're a very generous fit, and it gives me this feeling of like, oh, I'm dressed. I'm comfortable, but I'm dressed. And then in turn, it's these are the pieces that help me better contextualize new acquisitions, new purchases. I'm trying not to shop as much. Like right now I'm not shopping, but I find when I do shop, I have to ground myself in the stuff I know worked. And for such a long time, the stuff I know worked, why did it last? And will these new things come into my closet and stay for a similar reason? Yeah, the stuff that has stuck really has just been through pragmatism, through the realities of what my day-to-day life are, and then what clothes keep up with that well. Let the practical constraints of your stuff guide what stays in your closet. I think, especially if you have an intake problem, it's not a bad place to start with fixing it.